second verse, same as the first. This is SCNS Live. I am Kat. On either side of me, I have Cass and Cora.
Hello.
And back there, bursting with some super cool immediate news, is Jason.
Oh, you just want me to go for it?
Yeah, go for it.
Here we go, because y'all missed the audio on all this. This is, it does impact our ability to enjoy it. Okay, believe it or not, we're professional journalists. That through,
Are you sure about that?
I'm doing a group shot on this one because due to everyone's hard work and everything they've put into all of this, as I said, 4 years ago, we set a goal. That goal was to one day get accepted into the biggest Comic-Con there is. 4 blocks of just everyone, look at this stuff for you nerds, and we got accepted. SCNS Live is going to San Diego Comic-Con 2022.
Woo! Yes!
I have nothing but beaming pride at the people that I do this with. We did it, guys. We did it.
We did it.
And it was a long road.
I think we could have gotten in soon. I don't think we could have gotten in without the website. But I mean, it took a little bit longer because we couldn't meet up in large groups without dying. So
yeah, that does make it harder.
There's been a lot of little bumps along the road, but when we started, I didn't even know you two almost at all. So it hasn't been this awful road. It's been a road where we've formed amazing friendships that really beneficial to me. And I think it's fair to say that Jason's worked the hardest and Cora's worked the almost as hardest. And Cass and I are just we feel lucky in a lot of ways to be here. And while understanding that we do some stuff too, that we're lucky and we're very happy. And I love you guys and I'm so happy.
It honestly also just a little self-reflection. Props to my old broadcast partner, Chris Kidd, who I actually fell out with, but recently I texted him and I was like, hey man, I need to tell you this because we said we were going to get there one day and SCNS did get there. So I wanted to acknowledge his contributions. We started this thing together and it was nice to actually, I'm terrible with forgiving people, terrible. I'll burn the bridge with you on it, damn it, but he said congratulations, and he's very happy for us. So
also awesome. Shout out to Bryce, and there have been others as well. But
yes.
Shout out to Bryce.
It's been a road, but I think we're on it, and this is going to open up doors for us.
And
I hope
Nate,
y'all are
who's
ready
going
for
with us, right?
Huh?
And Nate, who's going with us. Yeah.
And I hope y'all are ready for the insanity that is San Diego Comic-Con.
I don't think you can be ready for it, but we're excited for it.
I mean, we can operate as 2 teams, and I think that's going to benefit. The first year I went, it was pretty much just me. I wish y'all could have seen my step count.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of this,
My step count from Thursday to Sunday was measured in miles. I walked 27 miles total.
Question.
What?
Are roller skates allowed?
No.
Oh.
Absolutely not. I mean,
there goes
probably.
That plan.
I don't know.
I need
to be really good on them.
I actually genuinely am curious about that because I grew up on roller skates. I got a pair for Christmas and I'm working on a cosplay that uses them.
I can very easily throw together one with roller skates.
Yeah, mine light up. That's not part of the cosplay. I was just excited. They're bright blue and they light up like I'm a 4-year-old and I love them.
We have already started making preps. We are going. We are doing this thing. I like to think that it's been 2 years since SDCC went on, so I'm wondering
live.
How big is the show going to be? Because they're holding up COVID. They have some COVID requirements.
We're going to get smothered in people.
And we will be taking precautions as well, obviously wearing masks and
they are requiring vaccination and tested before you go in.
That's dope.
Nice.
Absolutely.
I know. That's one I know that there are people. No, but they're like, we are too close.
We're not embarrassed. We're vaccinated. Yeah. Get vaccinated.
We are all vaccinated.
Hall H, the previews. I know. Cass, do you want to go to see DC, whatever DC is putting out this year? Do you want to go to that? Do you want me to go to that? Tell you what, I'll go to it and sit in the press pit.
Sandman? What if we meet Neil Gaiman?
Actually, you
I
know
can't
what?
do this.
I'm calling it. I want to go with Cass just so I can downplay any excitement that she has.
That's the move, right?
Just so she can be like,
Put the damper.
It was all right.
Nobody wants to see content where we're excited about properties
And I
coming
just
out.
downplay everything that she's excited about. No, we're going, me and you, DC.
We're going to have to split and resplit and resplit and
Yes.
resplit and whatever things, but like...
That's why we got 2 cameras and mics.
I've cried on you once, Jason. Are you really looking to repeat that experience?
Actually, no. I absolutely do not want you crying on me. So,
But yeah, we'll be organically
awesome.
recombining and resplitting.
and I'm telling you, Hasbro, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, Hasbro.
You should feel very lucky that we're not like super collectibles people, although there will be exceptions, and those exceptions would be at San Diego Comic-Con, which leaves more room.
Jason, you and me, Bandai booth.
I have no doubt there will be souvenirs exceptions for the two of us.
Oh, we're going to have a lot of content coming out. Just guys, July 21st, the Nerds are going to be out in San Diego, living it up and probably exhausted by Monday.
It's so soon and it's so far away.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Our big announcement.
Thank you for anybody who's watched, who's
Thank you to
promoted,
everyone out
streamed, boosted, everything you've done. Like, we're going to try and get the best content that the people want to see. So, yeah. And we're going to have fun. We're not even going to try. We're going to have fun. So now that that's over with, it was not really any shorter because we're too excited not to talk about it. Let's get into some super cool nerd news.
Alright, so I normally talk about anime on this channel, and I have talked about some of the stuff that's come out of film festivals before. I haven't talked about anything like this before, so let's just get into that. The Toronto Queer Film Festival will be showing a fan dub parody of the Sailor Moon movie Promise of the Rose. The title for this parody is Sailor Moon Rated R, The Promise of His Rosebud.
What does that mean?
It is going
I don't
to...
like this.
Very quickly, I'm not going to read through that whole description again because it just kept getting worse and worse as I kept going. But the rewrite of it, because they've made a whole new script and they completely redid the clips for it, like they edited the clips themselves and everything. It's going to be a dark comedy that focuses on issues related to queer folks, women, and people of color. And I just love that. And it's going to be a porn. I also can already let y'all know that. If the title did not give that away.
No. How is the title with the rosebud?
The rosebud and literally saying rated R. Mm-hmm. It may not show like straight up porn, but it's probably one of those that might as well be.
I'm gonna need a review.
Yeah, you're gonna have to review it every minute.
You know what? I will gladly review that because I'm so insanely curious how they edited this film.
Yeah.
I watched the original when I was a kid. Like, that was the first Sailor Moon movie, and possibly first Sailor Moon thing I ever watched. So that's going to be interesting.
I mean, have you ever seen those trailers where they recut like a kid's movie into a horror?
Yeah.
It's that same curiosity. Re-editing something like that is not easy, and I'm just curious.
Yeah.
There's somebody that edited the Hobbit movies into a watchable film, so anything's possible.
Wow.
But how long was it?
It was like a regular length, I think.
Because if you show the Lord of the Rings, it's extended, but instead of extended, the whole thing takes, less time than it does to read the book. And then I'm there.
But it'll be shown at the Toronto Queer Film Festival. And
can you imagine enjoying that in a group? A large
I don't
group?
like this. Don't mess with Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is pure. You should... Okay, maybe not. But...
It was all... I will just say, when we did 3 Girls, 1 Hentai, it was already weird enough to watch that with just 2 other people that were just chill about it. Like, it was a very fun experience. It was a very weird experience. So I can only imagine what this is going to be like in a large group of people.
Yeah, like, is it weird to watch porn with your buddies?
Oh, I'm so sorry. When I said someone edited it, the Hobbit movies, I meant Topher Grace
Oh my goodness.
edited it.
There's certain people, like him and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, that it's like, how do you even have time to do TV when you're doing all this other stuff, like writing Hulu's log lines for your new show?
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. That's literally the story. That, like, I don't have words other than I'm just curious.
You don't need words in porn.
You got a point.
I've heard that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Just
all
I
this
no
just
coffee.
turned into like
Who would like to go next?
you need appreciative moaning.
all this turned into just the shy spells. Yes. Academics, just yes, that is.
Speaking of,
Yes, let's discuss the academics.
I don't
of
know,
pornography.
hero characters, I guess. Cass, what have you got?
And very subdued performances as well. Of course, I'm talking about Barry Keoghan as the Joker. That's right, a subdued, really just nuanced version of the Joker. In a deleted scene from the Batman, he shows off his, just not very lively, not very, he does laugh, but it's not like a maniacal laugh. It's like a human person's laugh, like the Joker. That's it. That's the whole story. Kat and I watched this movie on Tuesday, and I've seen some good reviews for it. It was bad. It was a bad movie. Like,
you think the Batman was
Batman was a bad movie. It would have made an amazing pilot for a TV show. Edit that shit down to 45 minutes. Yeah, you could have had a decent movie or a decent thing, but no, it was bad. None of the characters had
So
internal
I enjoyed
worlds.
the Batman, the biggest Batman critic on the show.
That's because you weren't watching the Batman. I don't know who that was. It's weird that his name was Bruce Wayne because that's not Batman. He acts nothing like Batman for the whole movie.
Hated it. I turned to Cass about an hour through it, and I said, is this another Ragnarok situation? Because I famously hated Ragnarok, and everybody loved it.
I don't have no idea how to process this.
It was terrible.
Poor help.
I can't help. I haven't seen the movie.
How is I criticize Batman every waking moment of my day. I wake up in the morning, screw Batman.
Yeah, it's time to say Batman sucks.
I have an alarm set for it. And you
hated it.
Hated it. There were a couple of good scenes. The moment with the flare at the end, I'm not trying to get too spoilery, but the moment at the end with the flare, that was a great moment.
The trailer upside down Batman shot was cool.
But Ninja trained Batman was actually doing ninja things.
You know what he wasn't
yes,
doing?
that part was
Batman
cool.
things.
No, but
The worst Batman film.
Since when does Bruce Wayne hate Alfred?
I don't
Alfred?
know what life is anymore.
Y'all, he just left, so we're gonna keep talking about this garbage.
I'm gonna here. We need a spoilers page. It's not gonna be heavy spoilers in any sense because we know you haven't seen it yet.
I don't even
Here's
care.
the
Don't
thing.
see me. Go
They
ahead.
took
Make
this
camera.
Batman, this version of Batman, and then they're like, what if he didn't care about things like consent or poor people or, anything that much? And they made him kind of a little incel-y and a little whatever. And did he have a turn? He did have a turn.
He did have a turn.
Is it big enough or dramatic enough? No.
But this is year 2 Batman. He is still bad at things.
That's absolute. Okay,
This is not uncharismatic.
This is not bad at things. This is actively holds different ideals than Bruce Wayne.
He has not grown into the Dark Knight detective just yet.
He doesn't have to be that good at everything, but he has to hear the call, and he's not hearing the call.
Crazy.
You know what? In 2022, they released a Batman who doesn't seem to understand that his money could help.
They
Wayne.
They released specifically a detective focused Batman movie where he hasn't looked into his parents' money Seriously?
defend
You couldn't have done a
Batman.
quick Google of like, hey, what about the renewal fund?
I'm
You could have done like a real
conflicted.
quick
Hang on, I'm
one.
not done with the sign.
I'm so conflicted.
And
here.
I will say, there were things I loved about it. I loved the detective work. I liked a lot of the fight scenes, and I liked his portrayal of both Batman and a little bit Bruce Wayne, because I like that he's not there yet, right? He's not charismatic. That part was great.
We don't need a not raw or not rough. Like
Yeah.
rough and raw is fine.
I loved the rough parts of it. What I didn't like was none of the characters having a complex inner worlds.
I couldn't believe they put a movie out in 2022 where he doesn't they don't address the police corruption really in a satisfying way. They don't address the wealth gap in a satisfying way. They don't address consent in a satisfying way. And I know that two people who only see themselves through the Batman's eyes, that can be a little confusing. So I just mean that speaking through an earpiece to a woman with no respect for her boundaries about what to do in her situation
And her
is
safety.
upsetting. And when she says no, saying, no, I need you to keep going, no, I don't like that. It's not the same as assault or anything. I'm not saying that, but it's boundary ignoring, and that's upsetting.
Okay, first off, from what I've gathered about Batman, he doesn't care about anybody's boundaries. Okay?
The Ace scene. He drives Harley Quinn.
First off, Dwayne McDuffie wrote that.
He drives Harley Quinn back to Arkham so that she's safe.
And that Batman has been in the game for a couple of years.
He has been in the game for a couple
This
of
one
years.
has not.
When he didn't care about people's boundaries is when he's not.
He's going to learn. He just...
That's why I'm saying.
refuse to defend
That's why
Batman
I'm
on the
saying
show.
it would have been a great pilot. It would have been a great pilot.
That's what we're building on. This is...
We don't have a confirmed sequel.
He
Also-
was learning.
Also, I would like to point out that we shouldn't be expecting all of these superhero movies to have a sequel. Sometimes a movie is just a movie, and it has to be able to stand up on its own without the
It
promise of a
super
sequel.
doesn't.
Okay, I feel like we've gotten way
That's
off.
all I got.
This is a whole discussion we can have. So.
We should make a whole thing about this, but one minor correction. Early Batman didn't understand boundaries. There's a difference. You're making an early Batman argument that he doesn't understand things, but also doesn't care about things, and both can't be simultaneously true, or he wouldn't
Now
improve.
you're good. Totally. I'm not, nope.
He's having to defend Batman, and this is just great.
No!
Hated it. 3 hours long. Very boring.
So
So light
And
and
Really,
dark.
3 hours?
It is
256.
Guess whose ADHD has to know how long the movie is?
Can I-
256.
I just have one question.
Sure.
Was the Riddler good at least?
The performance was great.
The performance was
That-
outstanding.
The take was garbage.
Well, as I have learned in the many years that I've watched anything with the Riddler, if the writers aren't at galaxy brain level, the Riddler's gonna come off isn't gonna come off
I will
like
say
Gotham.
this for the take of it. There are riddles, which is nice. There have been takes even worse with no riddle, but I was the one who had the bigger problem with the take. But the acting was magnificent.
The acting was magnificent. If you love the Riddler, watch Gotham. Not the first season.
No, in
Start
fact,
season
none
2.
of them till 3, right? 3.
No,
2.
season
Is
2 is
it
good.
2 and 3, or
Yeah.
is it 3 and 4?
It's 2 and 3.
2 and 3 are good. You would love the Riddler.
And close on Batman. Actually,
Okay.
no. Reopen.
But not yet.
Not yet.
We're gonna segue into that. Speaking
We have our
of,
spoiler page ready whenever we need it.
yeah, speaking. Oh, we won't need it again. I don't think.
Just in case.
Yeah.
We need to.
Speaking
A
of
lower third.
marathons that are too hard on people to watch and they shouldn't be forced to, Pokemon, Twitch streamer Pokemon, came out about subathons, which are where people put things on for an extended amount of time, like leave, stay live. And she said they're unhealthy and there's something we should look at. And first of all, at first I was like, yeah, I've seen those. We've done 24-hour live streams, but we split it up in blocks and whatever. And I was like, yeah, 24 hours straight on camera isn't a great thing. That's not what she's talking about, it turns out. And first of all, she understood that she's been part of this problem. She said, like, I've done this and I'm a streamer fan. So, like, I'm part of the problem. She's not talking about that. There's somebody, I don't even remember, it doesn't matter, who's winding up a 30-day stream.
Oh,
and somebody else
my
who is in the
goodness.
middle of 149 days, like, or at 149 days right now, which means they're doing, like, everything on camera. And she also said, and I thought this was weird, that if you don't interact with your fans, it doesn't even, like, count. And I'm like, but, like, you're against it, right? So, like... But
Is
the
this
label...
like a Truman Show situation?
That's exactly what I was thinking about. And, like, that's the question. Like,
are we
we've
watching
gotten
this person
there.
sleep?
Well, it's
Probably.
157
And
days.
it's just one person?
At the time of the article being written, it said, napping right now, sick AF. Like... So, yes, everything.
Super weird.
So I guess probably that person hasn't at least engaged in certain activities, which, like, isn't the biggest, unless, but,
And
like,
we're back to the Batman.
but, like, how, So, yeah, not too healthy. We need to take a look at society, I guess, but it was nice to see it. It's nice to see a big streamer be like, I've been part of this problem,
Yeah.
this is bad, because, like,
Yeah, like, you know, to each their own.
I can see, like, if, like, and I'm not saying this would be an amazing thing, but if, like, College Humor did something like that, like, the organization.
oh, yeah, I don't think anybody's against the idea of, like, this room
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Like, in a house bigger
But
than
even,
ours.
like, putting on content, but that's a group of, like, 30 people.
Nobody's talking
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Like,
this
that's-
is one person. That's no.
Yeah, like if you're so like if it's like what we do for Extra Life, even if we didn't
Yeah.
chop it up into bits, where we're switching off people
Yeah, we tag.
like tag
Yeah.
team. All right, your turn to do this game. Your turn to do this game, or your
Including
turn to do this content.
Very delusional.
Very
Chaos
delusional.
last
We took one of the shorter shifts, but also, like, the longest time block, like,
Yeah.
unbroken up and in the middle of the night to, like,
Yeah.
close out strong.
Right.
It played God of War and Overwatch.
Yeah.
It's nice that we won't have daylight savings time anymore to add that extra hour on there.
Yeah.
The one thing the Senate can agree on.
I didn't know it passed
Yeah,
the
we're not.
House.
I mean, it's coming. Who doesn't want to get rid of? I mean,
Seriously.
seriously.
I mean,
Seriously.
Arizona doesn't have it right now. Anyway,
There's no reason to. It's dumb.
Anyway.
Wait, aren't we, like, 90% farmers still? Is that not the case?
They can adapt.
No.
Anyway,
Okay.
But also, no, 2%.
2%. So anyway, that's what I have on Pokemon. Does anybody have more? Nope, that's not a category. That's just something we do. What do you have, Jason?
pure unadulterated glee.
Okay.
Always good.
So, please let this happen finally. Rawson Marshall Thurber, I hope I said that right, he is the director of Red Notice, is directing a live-action Voltron movie.
What?
How many times has the live action Voltron movie come
I
up as
have
a
been,
thing?
I have been lied to before. 40 years into this franchise, and I have been a fan of. Look up there. What is that? That is Voltron. Do you know how many Voltron figures I have? How many cartoons I watched? I watched the Nickelodeon one. I watched the Netflix one, which was great, by the way.
Until the end. But anyway.
They shouldn't have ended it. There's a problem. That show should still be going.
I have a lot of opinions of that. We're not going to get into that right now.
Regardless,
Keep going.
apparently they are now developing a live action one. Thurber himself has come up with a story for the film and is going to direct a screenplay he wrote. I'm cool with directors doing screenplays they wrote. That's fine. But he's saying 6 or 7 studios have expressed interest. Yes, there is a lot of nostalgia out there for these films and properties to get on screen, but I've been lied to before. I have wanted this for many years. Live action Voltron, please put it in my veins. And I can't even, I was so happy to read this story and then instant disappointment of it'll never happen.
You're talking to somebody who's been waiting on Moon Knight, which is coming. It is
We're
coming.
there.
We're so close.
We're there, baby.
Moon Knight and Sandman for a hot minute.
Now, granted, Thurber is working on several properties right now. He's also doing the Dungeons and Dragons movie as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, no, that's going to be a TV series. So his plate seems full, and you've written a treatment. Can you send it to your boy and let me read this? And I'll fight for you if it's good. I'll fight for you. I'll be beating down people's doors. You need to make this movie. And getting arrested. But I'm willing to do that.
Can I interest you in talking about our Lord and Savior Voltron?
I know, right?
And also, like...
And I want this Voltron. Look, I love the Netflix Voltron, like, design-wise, not show, Cora. But I want old school Voltron. I want that Voltron right up there in Lions. Look at him. He's so
That's
pretty.
not on
I don't
screen.
even know which one that is.
Actually, no, it's not. It's totally in the corner up there.
Can I make a plea to have the team that worked on Speed Racer also work on this film, because that was a great movie. I don't care what anyone says. You can fight me. Speed Racer, the live action, had the spirit of Speed Racer, the cartoon, and that's what was important. And therefore, I would like that team to have a hand in this, because then it will have the spirit of Voltron within it.
Can I make a plea for people not to screenwrite and then direct their projects? Like,
Really?
it's generally it's a bad idea because you don't have enough voices like offering different opinions. You don't want to get all like the Batman about it and put like 30 producers in the room, but like one voice for something as complex as Voltron and as established, established as many takes as there have been. Like you want a team of people, but also it takes jobs from people who could use them.
It's kind of like Cowboy Bebop and Halo for you, but I've gotten both of those realized. So I really have no ground to stand on there.
Like,
which I still have not watched Halo yet. I plan on watching it after the show.
Yeah, because we need to do the...
I have some ideas on that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Now here's the question. Will you be upset if we get Vehicle Voltron instead?
I mean, I like Vehicle Voltron, but don't do Vehicle Voltron. Do the Lions. No. You can do Vehicle Voltron as like a tie-in or a sequel or something. No, you do Go Lion. Do Go Lion. It's like I get all ginned up when I see these stories, like, yes! And then it's like, it's kind of like Mary Jane in No Way Home. Like, don't get excited for anything because then you set yourself up for disappointment. So I'm just going to say that someone is talking about making a live-action
You mean
Voltron.
Michelle Jones?
Hmm? MJ from Spider-Man?
Yeah, her name's not Mary Jane.
Is it Michelle Jones?
Yeah.
MJ. I just say MJ. There.
Gotcha.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, I just got, like, my brain was like,
possibly
wait.
coming at some point, and
Zendaya.
I suddenly have felt disappointed because I'm like, will it happen? Anyway, who's up?
I've got another movie story.
Go for it.
So, we've talked about a little documentary film for a specific animator named Satoshi Kon. Again, everyone does know that name, though they may not realize it if you are an anime fan. But, real quick, back at the Cannes Film Festival last summer, they premiered a tribute film, a documentary for the late Satoshi Kon called L'Illusioniste. And it was shown there, and we still don't have a date on when it's being, put out for us to buy. However, the Smithsonian Museum of Asian Arts is going to be streaming this movie for everyone from March 26th until April 2nd. So you will get the opportunity to watch L'Illusioniste and learn about Satoshi Kon. Whether you have to pay or not, I have not checked yet. I figure that it's probably not got all of the information up on the website yet. But in a couple of days, you'll be able to start streaming it. It will also be streamed on the Japan Info and Cultural Center's website as well. That one will be streamed from March 26th until April 10th, as well as his films. So you'll get to see Perfect Blue, Millennium Actress, Tokyo Godfathers, and Paprika.
I really like this idea of like blending it into this is Asian arts and culture. Like, yes. Let's embrace that and put it in like a more like academic vibe.
Yeah, and if you've never seen a Satoshi Kon film, I implore you to watch them. Just at least one. Pick one from the list I just mentioned. Because every single one of them is an absolutely beautiful visual delight. He does such a good job of telling stories through visuals, not so much through the script itself, like through words. And every single one of them is a trippy affair, but in a good way. I think my favorites are Perfect Blue and Paprika, which is really kind of funny because Paprika was originally going to be his breakout film. Like, that's what he wanted to do first, but that ended up being his last film. But Perfect Blue, do not watch if you don't like horror. Just straight up. That is a horror film.
I was
writing that down.
I was so proud of me and Cass with a friend of ours. We're watching an anime right now, and we're like, Cora will be so proud of us, and we'll have things to talk about. But as has happened to me with every anime I've ever watched,
Same.
when I talk to anime fans about anything, no matter how popular, they're like, I didn't watch that one. I'm like, well,
I was so excited to start Attack on Titan, and then, none of my anime friends watched it. I was like, okay.
I watched a little bit of it. It just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
But
that's how I feel about anime, but people keep insisting I'm wrong.
yeah, if y'all want to ever watch any of these films, like, this is to y'all, I will gladly watch any of these films with you. I love every single one of them. Perfect Blue.
What do we start in case other anime? What was it?
Evangelion.
We started Evangelion, so we're doing an anime. Anyway.
Yes. But yeah, if you have been curious about Satoshi Kon as a person, the documentary has interviews with people that he worked with and people who were influenced by his work. Basically talking about the man, his way of thinking, and all sorts of things of that nature. Also, the poster is just really cute, and I hope they release that as a print in some way. Because it's perfect.
That's awesome. Speaking of things we've been waiting for.
So, in the Marvel universe, we have just like a little kind of something we're not actually that excited about. Moon Knight. Moon Knight is coming out March 30th, I think. Yes. But something was announced today. They said they had kind of an odd record for the least additional photography in the history of Marvel Studios. Additional photography reshoots used to be kind of a sign of something went horribly wrong, and now they're just kind of a staple.
And also sometimes they still mean something horribly wrong.
Yeah,
Like
a lot
Suicide
of times it's the extent of the reshoots is if there's a lot, then something probably went horribly wrong. This has the least additional photography in the history of Marvel Studios. Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke were talking about it recently, and they said that it was probably due to the amount of rehearsal time. They said on the weekends that they were shooting, they would go and have, go and have brunch on Sundays and sit and talk about the upcoming episode. And they would kind of figure out how it was going to work, how it could be better, and kind of brought their collective imagination. And collaboration is not something that has been highlighted in Marvel movies for the past 6 or 7 years, well, Marvel projects. And so I'm really excited to see one that it seems like collaboration was really, really big, because that was really big initially. The first Iron Man movie famously had like half a script, and so they had to collaborate and figure out how it was going to work, and
That's the Moon Knight coming now.
Someone wants the car to sound like that.
I thought that was your tummy. And so I'm excited. I'm excited about this collaborative thing. I don't know. And then I had one other thing that I wanted to mention.
Video games.
It was announced that The Witcher 4 is coming.
Ooh.
Except
Except it's not The Witcher 4. Except it's kind of The Witcher 4. We got a picture of a medallion that is confirmed to be the Lynx, which is one of the Witcher schools. The other schools are Cat, Griffin, Bear, Viper, Manticore, Crane, and obviously Wolf. We also got that it is going to be on the Unreal Engine specifically so that it can have that open world aspect that Unreal is so good at.
That so could have been written on our website. I'm just saying. That was a good explanation for something I didn't know and I didn't want to write.
Fair enough. I forgot about it until literally on the show just now.
I will say, when you're like, it's The Witcher, but not, my first instinct was, are we getting a Jackster game?
I think
Or Dandelion game?
I think we're getting a Siri game. Is what I think.
My
cool.
take
I mean,
was that
that'd be
they
cool, too.
couldn't tell Henry Cavill it was a real Witcher game because they need him to shoot season 3, and he would just disappear.
We're
Yeah.
gonna see shots from on set. Henry, we need you on set in a minute.
It's like, I'm building another PC because, first of all, so-and-so, cameraman number 5, has never played a Witcher game, so making him a PC so that
He can play it because it's so good.
And then I'm playing it myself for 27 hours straight.
I actually have a piggyback story on her movie.
Yeah, go for it.
Actually,
Go for it.
It goes right into something I was going to talk about. So, Sabir Pirzada, who wrote the Moon Knight series, apparently, like you said, this is some magic that we're about to see on screen. Well, they're already pegging him for another project, Nova. We have had the Nova Corps introduced in Guardians of the Galaxy, so this does make sense. Which one are they going with is another question. I would love to see them bring in the entire Nova Corps. That way I get Richard Rider.
Can you do that in a series?
That's my thing. Isn't that a lot for a series, though?
It depends how many episodes, I guess.
It's not confirmed whether this is going to be a feature film or a series for Disney Plus. What do y'all think?
I think an anthology series like season 1, and you just keep introducing parts of it till you have the whole core. Like, I think that'd be fun.
I think it will be good to bring it in as a series, but have Richard as the seasoned Nova Corps vet
Yeah,
training Sam.
that'd be fun. That'd
Sam,
be fun. I'd be
I
on
know
board
we're
for
doing
that.
Miss Marvel, and it's going to be, kid gets powers.
Yeah.
But I want, like, Sam to get the helmet, and immediately Richard's there, like, welcome to training.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we already have the Nova Corps. This would be easy to do. And just that pain of the rookie. Yes, I know we just did that with Hawkeye, too.
I don't care.
But exactly. I love
I
the
liked
concept.
Hawkeye, and I'm on board
I
for,
loved
like...
Hawkeye.
Yeah, like, I thought Hawkeye was one of the better series, and, like, I always expected it to be, but I also just liked it. So, like, we don't need as many, like... We don't need origin stories for every single person necessarily, like, big. So yeah, like, come in as a veteran training, like, I'm on board. I think
But
that'd be
also,
fun.
we saw in Endgame where Thanos had apparently been to Nova Prime and wreaked havoc. So we need to rebuild the core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be fun, and we've seen that Disney is not scared to spend a lot of money on their series. And I always want everything to be a TV show. Like I just said about the Batman, it would have been really good if it was a TV show.
I mean, I think it'll be easier to do because it looks like they're changing some stuff about Miss Marvel. Please don't mess with me on this
We'll
one.
see.
Well, we'll see. I'm patient.
Like I said last week, I think the changes will be good because I think it will lead into what everybody wants.
But I do like that Kat was saying we're hearing good things about Moon Knight. It makes sense that Disney would pull this guy to the side. Hey, we got something else we need you to work on.
And it's weird because, like, Moon Knight is weird. Moon Knight is
gosh.
shamelessly
I'm
weird.
so ready for
And
this.
Nova would be a weird series to try and do.
I think Nova has more potential to be funny like Hawkeye was, but
I don't know. Moon Knight's crazy funny. Like, he's crazy.
yeah, it's going to be great. But yeah,
I was right.
project.
It's 6 days away.
Hmm?
Moon Knight. I was
Yeah,
right.
it's
It's March
the
30th.
What
It's
now?
6 days away.
Let me hear one.
They usually
6 days
They usually come
away.
out at what, 2 in the morning, right? Isn't that
Wednesday.
their usual?
Yeah, I've got
So we should be done by noon the next day.
this because I've been hating waking up at 5 to work out.
Yeah.
But
You're gonna wake up at 2.
But if there's something
Okay.
to watch, yeah, then I'm good.
Like, he's pretty good for it, I think, Oscar Isaac. I wasn't always
God,
100% on board, even though I like him. I was like, do we want a fresher fit? But, like, Moon Knight's never been that fresh. He's always been kind of, like, jaded and upset. So,
a little
like,
concerned about his accent. That's about it. He's got a little Dick Van Dyke in there.
I know that they've changed the costume up. The costume's like living or something.
but it's so
I'm
cool
fine,
looking.
So
I'm
cool,
fine.
like I don't care.
Bring it on.
But does he confront Dracula about a debt? That's a meme shout out. It's not a real moment.
So once again,
Yeah, but you know
6
what?
days,
It's still an iconic one.
6 days. I hope all y'all have watched it before we go live that Thursday. Because I'm going to have seen it.
Oh,
Just
no,
letting you
like,
know right
I
now.
have a regular deadline. I work for a place that contracts new videos every first of the month, right? I will have emailed the guy I work for this week and been like, I'm gonna need you to make sure this is buttoned up before the 30th, because I'm not working on this on the 30th, so just make sure it's ready to go a day or two early.
Like, just FYI.
Because that's a regular thing to be like, hey, I'm not going to be in town. I'm going to do it for Comic-Con. I'm not going to be in town, so just make sure it's right before then. That's going to be a thing with Moon Knight.
So that was all I had. So, yeah, I just wanted to piggyback that on.
Any other TV news?
You go ahead.
Okay. This is just a real quick one, just mostly a mention because we don't got much information for it, but there's going to be a Tekken anime on Netflix.
What?
It is going to be called Tekken Bloodlines, and it is coming out this year.
Look at that.
For Netflix. There is a trailer on their YouTube, on the Netflix YouTube. It is in English, even on the Japanese website, or on the Japanese YouTube, it is in English. We don't know who the studio is. They have not released that information.
It's weird.
However, the verbiage they are using is very similar to the verbiage they used for anime like Castlevania and some other things that came from a certain studio located in Austin, Texas.
What studio?
Powerhouse Studio.
Ooh,
So,
love
That's
Powerhouse.
the rumor.
It is the rumor. It is a rumor. It is a rumor. Rumor. But very highly likely. They have mentioned that they've been working on another video game franchise, and the last two series they put out weren't video game franchises. This one is a video game franchise, so it would be on brand.
Tekken would be an easier entry point for me than most video games, or most animes.
We need to start
Yes.
posting more of this stuff in Discord, because I so would have written a story about Tekken. I love Tekken.
To be fair, I found out about this like an hour before the show. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's part
I
of
don't
the
know
problem
what's
is
the
that
trailer
we
now.
research
But-
for the show and like, oh,
Some of us.
Ooh, piece of candy.
like, well, I know she knew the Witcher thing. Like, we both knew the Witcher thing from Monday, and so yeah, we should have mentioned that. But like the Moon Knight thing, we both found out in the last 24 hours. So.
Yeah, but just real quick, it's going to follow Jin Kazama.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to preface real quick before I keep going. I've never played a Tekken game that wasn't
Fun.
like the cabinet. So I have like, if there's a story, I never knew it. I just punch things. Same with Street Fighter.
It's never a big story, if I remember.
But basically, it looks like we're gonna be watching Kazama learn his trade and begin his quest to become the King of Iron Fist, or like do the tournament. Please don't come at me, nerds. I'm so sorry.
No, I am. You know, Tekken actually had a decent live action movie.
That's what I've heard.
That's true.
Yeah, I went in that movie. Expectations so low, but it's Tekken. I'm gonna watch it. And actually, it wasn't bad. Surprisingly, actually, if my dad had gotten his way, my first name would be Jin.
Seriously?
Yes,
That's kinda dope.
Apparently, he lost the coin flip, so he got
Aw.
the second name. So, yeah, my first name would have been Jin.
That's still really cool.
Your second name is cool. Your dad sounds cool.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
name was awesome.
Yeah.
But Tekken, I'm so down. Okay, look, poor Jason growing up had to play Tekken at Toys R Us all day on Saturday, but I wrecked everybody at Tekken. Them Toys R Us people could have kicked me out. I'll admit it. They could have. You get out. You've been here too long.
Yeah.
They probably were probably amused watching you kick everyone's ass.
Like, of course, Street Fighter is my favorite fighting
course.
game, but everybody immediately goes to Mortal Kombat. No, I'm Tekken. Give me King, give me Law, give me Jin. Those are my fighters.
I was about to ask for
Was bad at
about a
King.
fighter and realized no, that's Guilty Gear. There's a completely different video game. So we're just gonna keep going.
I'm not gonna lie, when we watched the Mortal Kombat movie, which I enjoyed, by the way. Like, I know people hated it, but like, I liked it. I thought it was fun,
It was
and
alright.
I think I like movies that are just fun right now.
Yeah, it was a fun movie. I'm
Violent
not going to deny
and
it.
fun.
It was fun.
And there were some cool reveal moments, but I kept asking. I kept being like, "Is this Mortal Kombat? Or is this Tekken? Is this Street
I get
Fighter?"
all of them mixed
Because
up.
I was most familiar with Street Fighter 2 growing up. We used to walk to the 7-Eleven on the corner and play it. But also, like, I played a lot of Mortal Kombat, a lot of Killer Instinct, and a lot of Tekken.
I like Mortal Kombat just because Ludi Lin actually remembered that interview we did, and I was like, I was so happy. I was happy for. I was like, dude, I interviewed you years ago for Power Rangers. I'm happy for your success. He goes, oh, I remember you, Jason. Yeah, you had the Dragon Dagger.
You're like, yes. I was just so happy in the Mortal Kombat movie for the get over here moment.
I loved it.
That movie was decent. I didn't hate it. I maybe hated a character or two in there, but I didn't hate it.
It was fun to watch.
If any part of the movie was going to be memorable, it has to be the get over here.
Yeah.
Like,
Tekken was the one thing we sought out in 2016 when we went to Tokyo to make sure that we could play in Japan because, like, it wasn't out anywhere. I don't remember which one came out around then, but 2016, we played it before it came out. That was a cool feeling. Like, and Cameron played against some Tokyo arcade randos and actually won 1 out of, like, 6, but still.
You know what?
He was proud, and I was proud of him.
If you got 1, you did good.
And I played Baby Metal on, like,
Is Baby Metal still a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I played one of their songs on, like, a Rock Band arcade machine. It was so fun. And a little bit of Tekken, but I didn't win.
But it was fun, and that's what matters.
So Netflix doing Tekken. All right.
I'm on board.
I'm excited.
Yeah, the art for it already looks really good. So, I mean, you got the curiosity.
Absolutely.
And if it's Powerhouse, you got everything.
Ooh, and if it's good, you've got cosplay. And speaking of cosplay, I'm going to talk about Queen that I just love. Jamie Lynn Curtis is announced on Jimmy Kimmel last night that she's facilitating her daughter's wedding in her backyard, which is just so cute. But what's even more precious is she's doing it in World of Warcraft cosplay.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis so
Love
much.
this. She's going to be dressed as Jaina Proudmoore, who is one of the most incredible sorceresses in World of Warcraft. It is a dope AF cosplay.
Wow.
That's the one Laura Bailey voices.
Yeah. And it's a dope AF look, and I'm so happy, and I'm very happy for her daughter. And she said both her kids have been married or will have been married in her backyard, and it just makes her cry. But she's also like the facilitator, which is cool.
That's so cool.
I really like her. Anyway, that was a quick hit on that. I have one more quick hit. Speaking of video games and video game franchises, if you know who Ninjas in Pajamas are, you're not alone. They're very insanely popular esports franchise. Last year rebranded to the shortened NIP for reasons I cannot understand, because Ninjas in Pajamas is a cool name. Finally, they're taking their birthright and they're introducing a line of pajamas. Like,
That's cute.
I was so excited. I was less excited reading the article. They're $100 and they're not even really, they're like heat screen, casual wear, long sleeve, long pants. I'm like, this was a Forbes article too, which is weird. But like, they're like, so are they also going to be, doing ninja courses? Ha, ha, ha. And our other franchise is going to do their thing. And it listed off other franchises and what they could possibly do, and I was like, I don't care about anything that you said. I want a lot more pajamas, and I want them to be super cute. Hire like chibi artists to make cute little ninjas in pajamas and like actually make them. Where are ninjas from? The China, Japan, right? It's a Japanese thing. Just double checking.
Can you imagine?
Hire Japanese artists to make them.
Can you imagine?
Very important.
I wish I could have seen how my head poked up. Like, what?
Forget. It's been a long day.
Like little chibis sleeping, like in the little
like
bed,
that's what I want.
beds.
These are not anything like that, but like, finally you've identified the most obvious product that you could ever market. So just do it better.
No, but you can sell pajamas.
Yes, you
And also
can.
Forbes was like, oh, this person this firm did their rebranding last year, and I was like, they messed up because calling them NIP is stupid.
It is.
I mean, you could just call no, actually.
Anyway, that's all my stories. Who else has stories they haven't done?
Go ahead, guys.
If you're familiar with Misha Collins as the Angel Castiel, you will know that he deepened his voice and kind of put on this gravelly tone, and that's not what he
For
sounds
his
like.
3 arc.
For his what was supposed to be,
Supernatural.
supposed to be like a couple episodes, and had to do that voice for the next 10 years. It looks like he's still going to have to be doing a voice because he just got cast as Two-Face in the new Gotham Knights pilot. I can't say I'm super excited about this because it is the CW. And they've kind of got a history at this point of making DC shows and then running them into the ground. This is Gotham Knights, so we have Harper and Cullen Rowe that have already been cast. Tyler DeChiara and Fallon Smith. And then also we have Turner Hayes, who I'm not familiar with who that is. Oscar Morgan has been cast as Turner Hayes. We also have Carrie Kelly, the female Robin, which is what I was talking about in the hype video. And Olivia Rose Keegan is set to play Duella Dent.
Ooh.
That's where you kind of got me a little bit more interested. If you don't know, that's the Joker. It's the Joker's daughter, and kind of has that persona, but also, like, I don't know. And then Carrie Kelly is like the Robin that comes in super, super late into Batman. Here's the thing that concerns me the most. The first sentence of the log line is, Bruce Wayne has been murdered. And starting a TV show on the absence of a character very rarely works out. Like, this isn't just, this is Gotham without Batman. It's specifically, we are going to be focusing on, this is Gotham without Batman. That's really concerning to me.
The exact opposite. Because, like, if I say I'm going to do a TV show about Gotham, what is your question?
Where's Batman?
If you don't want to talk about it, you start out with he's not here. He's dead. He's dead.
He's diggity dead.
All the way dead. And then that's it.
But is he a Black Lantern?
He's
Too scary. Too scary.
he's dead.
Too scary.
Too scary for me.
But, like, if that's my mental is 100% is like, so anyway,
Yeah.
that we're not burying the lead, but also this isn't the lead. The whole rest of the story is about everything else. Maybe.
Because you gave up on CW shows, I feel like, with me, like, around the same time. Is this something that might bring you back? Right?
Here's my other thing, though,
Okay,
is
that's
like
that's my next story. Sorry.
CW shows, like, is a lot. There was a time where you almost had to commit to all of them.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking about CW shows. Like, I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's like, will you watch the pilot of this one show that's probably separate, maybe, from everything else they're doing? Maybe. I might.
Maybe.
I might look at the pilot. They have an interesting, like, mix of younger and older cast members, and
Yeah.
maybe.
This is in addition to the CW has a pilot for a prequel to the Walker show that's only going into its 3rd season, and then my favorite new show that they're going to be doing, a prequel to Supernatural that's about the Winchesters, except apparently they're demon hunters, even though the whole thing was that they weren't. I don't know.
Can y'all stop doing Supernatural?
Chill.
Please.
Just chill out.
Nope. Like,
CW, chill out.
I say nobody wants this, but I know exactly how many people will watch that. But also,
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's too much.
If you want some entertainment, go Google the Winchesters leaked pilot script. I don't know if it's real or not, but there's some bangers in there.
Oh, goody gumdrops.
Anyway, that's my story.
Jason?
I got one last one, and y'all are aware that I love one scale props, especially of weapons, things like Stormbreaker, Mjolnir, shields, Super Sentai swords. Well, they combined my love of lightsabers and one scale props when the man himself from Jedi Fallen Order, Mr. Monahan himself, went to, hang on, I gotta get my notes here, went to the Disney Park Studios, where it is now offered as one of the custom lightsabers they have there, his broken lightsaber.
Dope.
And we got Colin here holding it. Look at it. It looks great. I love this lightsaber design.
Like patiently
so
waiting.
Yeah, we're on a delay.
Yes.
Nope, I'm on a longer delay than that.
Yes, his legacy lightsaber will now be available from the lightsaber from Fallen Order.
Oh, dope.
You can also get the image. You can get the lightsaber in its broken form and its double-bladed form. These lightsabers are pretty expensive
Yeah.
at
No.
Disney Park Studios.
Really?
And there's a close-up shot of the hilt itself. The beauty of Star Wars Fallen Order is that you can change the color and look of your lightsaber. So you can get this hilt and put any color blade into it with the whole... I'm sorry, I said Cameron Monaghan. Sorry. You can put any color blade in there, and it's just like the game. I am for this, and if I ever go there, this is the lightsaber that I'm paying money for right here. I love lightsabers. I love swinging around, as there's a video from Retro Expo this weekend. You can see me doing some fancy stuff.
I love Cameron Monaghan.
Oh, man.
Love me a short ginger.
And I love that he himself got to debut his lightsaber from the game. This is perfect. That shot of him right in front of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
There's
This is
also
a
physical blade. Those are physical, like the parts.
Like the...
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think you can... I think they're strictly like, hey, look at it and enjoy it. Don't go whacking this thing or anything.
No, I'm just saying, like, I could make one of those. I thought the whole thing was how hard it was to make the light.
No, I think it's the whole fact that it's like a very nice collectible.
Oh yeah, and I'm not like dogging on this one. I'm just like, oh wow, if you guys
I can
want
wave it
that,
around and Although I would, if you do like lightsabers though, we went to Retro Expo this weekend. Well, y'all got to hear this actually, because I think we've gotten every story right.
Yep.
Okay, guys, Cora found the Grail. Cora found the Grail.
But it was all scratched up.
In the 8 years of this show, every time she has mentioned Suikoden, Cora found the disc this weekend. Cora, please.
So, we went in and I looked at every booth that had video games. If I saw if they only had like Nintendo games, I looked just because, Nintendo. But I laser focused on any that had discs or PlayStation. And every person I would ask, do you happen to have Suikoden? Expecting a no. They were like, I can't keep it on the shelf. I'm like, that makes sense. It's a rare game. Cool, moving on. And we were going down the last aisle, and we were about to leave. We're like, I see video games over here. I'm going to come over here now.
Last table.
Yep, last table. It was the last table that had games, period. It was also the last table we hadn't looked at this one. And that was the only table we hadn't looked at. And I was trying to get to where they had like a whole bin of like ones in cases, but it only was like big enough for one person to stand there. I'm like, well, I can't get over there. So I was looking through their CD book, and I turned the page on one of them, and it's just sitting there. Just sitting there.
Y'all, I wish y'all could have seen
I
it.
think I almost bruised your arm with how hard I started, like...
Because, I'm not into this, but I saw it and I was like, oh my god. Like, I can be happy when someone has found their Grail item. And that was it.
Yep, and
I'm telling her to calm down also because the guy at the table has clearly seen her reaction.
Yeah.
I'm like, he just tacked on $20 extra.
Absolutely.
I mean, to be fair,
Shut
he
up,
probably
shut up.
he probably also heard me go.
Everyone heard you go that noise.
I mean, you had to tell
I'm
her
gonna
to
need
calm
you to
down.
do
so
it.
she
Do the
didn't
noise.
pass
Do the
out.
noise.
What was
Do
that?
the noise.
That was the noise.
Do the noise she just made.
I can't
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was already prepared if he was gonna like overcharge me.
Yeah.
I was ready to fight him on it, but he gave me a price that was reasonable. So I immediately threw cash at him. Thank you again,
You're like,
Jason,
that's
for
enough.
helping with
That's
that.
I can pay that. I can pay that. That's not crazy.
Would y'all like to hear some cruel irony though?
Yes.
Obviously.
My backwards compatible PS2, it does not work right now. I have to get the laser repaired because it's the laser drift. It's a very simple issue. But also, I don't have memory cards for the PS3, so I can't save my game. Because if you have, here's the fun fact about the PS3. If you have a PlayStation 2 disc, it will not save your game. Even though it has the digital memory card on there, it won't let you use the digital memory card with your disc.
Can you not plug in an external and save the data?
I don't have one.
This is like that classic Twilight Zone episode where
with the glasses.
In the world arena and he breaks his glass.
Yeah.
But I was happy to record. We went to Show by Channel. We got a video that's coming out for it. Also, check out Nat 20 Sabers.
Yes.
Was that
These
who
guys
had it?
make, speaking of 1-1 scale props and lightsabers that you can actually bang around and hit things with it and duel with. And actually pretty well done. So Nat 20 Sabers, check them out. We've got a video coming out. We'll show off more.
I need a logo and a card in a booth and a better method for making props. I love 1-to-1 props. I love making them.
Yep.
Anyway, yes,
Yeah,
Nat 20 Sabers.
This weekend, and I'm happy that Cora finally found this thing that she relentlessly mentions on this show.
You're not going to stop being a nerd now, are you?
No, because I still have one more Suikoden game to find, and that's Suikoden 2. If I can find that in English, I will then have the English version of all of the games that were released in the United States.
I could hear the disappointment in her voice. I texted her, I was like, have you come up from air yet from Suikoden? She was like, sadly, no.
You could go with the early 2000s strategy, which was just leave the PlayStation on all the time.
Yeah. I would if the PS3 was mine, but it's my roommate's.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can find it. So anyway.
However, I do still have a digital copy of it, so I can still play it and save it, but I can't enjoy it on my disc. But the first thing I did when I got home was I did put in the disc because I did have like a worry that it was a bootleg and it wasn't real.
Yeah.
But it's real and it works. We're good.
Amazing. That's like how I have the Uniracers cartridge, but no system. I don't have an SCNS or an S. Nope, can't say it. Not since I joined the show.
Yeah.
Part of the core of us, I feel like, is appreciating other fandoms even though we're not in them. And so, like, we're really happy for you. Hooray! Anyway, that will do it for us here in the show. We have some exciting content coming out soon. We're working on some other stuff soon. And also catch up on our D&D game and get ready for Comic-Con and all sorts of stuff. If you want to find me on social media, you can find me at BetterCat on Instagram and Twitter occasionally. Cora?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at CorodonoArt, where I post things that are Suikoden related and sometimes artwork. And you can also find me on chaotic_noodle on Twitter for screenshots someday.
Someday. Sure.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at The Good Cast. I'm currently just careening my way through Horizon Forbidden West because it's the best game ever. It's so pretty.
Until Ragnarok comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, you can find me at JasonTheX on Instagram and Twitter. Go check it out.
And do that. Check out our website, supercoolnerdshow.com. And tune into all our channels. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Yahoo, probably, AOL, Messenger, etc., etc.
We have TikTok.
We have TikTok. And as we always like to say around here, keep on nerding.